welcome back to my channel, the Metatron channel. And for those of y'all that don't know what the Metatron is, it's the 4-letter Hebrew word that spells the name of God, Yahweh to be exact, the most powerful name in the universe. Okay, all jokes aside, today's video is going to be about something really cool I watched. I'm a big documentary fan, and I love myself a technical mystery. Nature documentaries, all kinds of documentaries. Anyways, I saw this documentary about this Jewish mathematician by the name of Michael Shermer. Shermer, I believe his name is, with all due respect. Mathematician. Works in the field of cryptography. That would be encryption mathematician. That is code breaking, you know, like encryption, 8-bit encryption for your passwords on the computer. Smart man. Anyways, he writes a code called, well, he does this thing where he basically takes the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, also the first 5 books of modern Christianity's Old Testament, the so-called Pentateuch. That would be Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and one more that I can't remember right now. Pardon. But anyhow, he writes this computer code, so he takes all the letters of these books and he makes them all equidistant. And then he searches, he tells the program to start searching for words, almost like a crossword puzzle, right? So it'll be like Hitler from World War II, Adolf Hitler, stuff like that. And really amazing, he actually finds these correlations. He actually finds these modern historical phenomenon in these books. And when they do the statistical analyses to look at what's the chances, because you can do this with math, what's the chances that this is pure random? And they find out that a lot of it is purely random given the nature of numbers and letters and how often things can show up, So they can run a lot of advanced statistical mathematics to look at the chances, if it's just completely chance or if it's something significant. And then lo and behold, they find all kinds of cool things, like political assassinations that all occurred in the last 100 years, World War II, Zyklon B, Adolf Hitler, Auschwitz. And then you have and then the whole skeptic versus believer debate enters. I believe this was a phenomenon in the 90s, and books are written and the big the debate takes off. And it's a interesting time. You got guys like Chuck Missler, who are the believers that are very much into seeing the potential for this to mean something, and it's the fingerprint of God, and he meant it to be like this because only this would prove that this God being is all in control, knows everything. And in the very beginning of writing the books, the Hebrew texts, he meant for there to be a special message that could only be decoded at the age of digital technology and computers, which would be a pretty cool thing, and I think he's onto something there for sure. And now you got these other guys that are like, whoa, hold the phone, hang on. What happens if we do the same statistical, and if we start looking for these things and say other books like Shakespeare's big texts or War and Peace, all these classic books of a certain amount of text, so you have enough chances to actually find, because the Bible is a long book and maybe eventually you will find something there. And of course they do find stuff and they're like, oh no, that put a big damper on the whole thing. And then guys like Chuck Missler are like, oh, wait, hang on, wait a minute, hang on. There's a little extra crazy thing happening here. We see that certain words are showing up in the texts, but it's kind of correlated with certain things that are happening in the Bible too. So it's sort of like tied in with not just predicting what's happening in the future, but it's also the location in the books that are like them two together. There's still like a lot of like, whoa, maybe something big is happening here. And then the debate eventually, as all things do, because it's not 100% conclusive, it sort of fizzles out and people feel kind of like maybe silly about their enthusiasm, and they're like, that was kind of cool, and we were really hoping for, you know, that we hit the mother lode here, you know, the gold mine, so to speak. And people have taken it all through these years. They're like, you know what, I'm taking it and I'm running with it because nothing's getting in the way for me. You know, it's like, it's just more juice in it's just more fuel in the tank, you know, which is probably reasonably healthy, given that we need some kind of faith fuel, high octane. Now, I'm just wondering myself, I personally, I can't say it's 100% conclusive, but there's definitely a few hints. And whoa, I think I'm getting a communication right now. Hang on, guys. Hello? Oh, what, is that Chuck Misler on the line calling from heaven? What? Hey Chuck, did you check with the angels what's up with that Bible code? Oh no, you mean it's, hang on, it's not Chuck Misler, it's Satan. What? Satan? You telling me that you deliberately created those texts like War and Peace so that these correlations would line up and people would be fooled? Just kidding, folks, of course. Hey, who knows? Just another thought. Hey man, I'm trying to be a comedian also. Anyway, super cool. Links in the description. Check them out. Sure was interesting and a lot of fun. Oh, and one more little piece that got me thinking. In the documentary, they do say that the old Jewish, there was a class of religious scholars that I guess that would be taught to copy the words of the original 5 texts, the Pentateuch. And they would be, you know, they would go through many years of tutelage and learning before they got to the point where they can actually sit there and write by memory or even copy the things that they would have to write down so that they could make a proper new copy of the book of Genesis or Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. But the funny thing is that there was like this really hardcore rule that supposedly came straight from God, and all the rabbis would really hammer this in, and they would say, if you guys make one little mistake in any of these letters, just even one, then know this, you have ruined the future of humanity. And it's kind of true. If they do mess up too many of the letters, the whole ELS coding thing wouldn't work, because you throw off the matrices so much that it's just not possible. Hey! Anyways, that's the video for today. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and make sure you turn on the bell notification, because I got lots of fun videos coming up. See you next time.